What's up, people? We are on day 5 of 30 days of doing lives on Instagram. And today I'm going to jump right into it. The topic today is this is the real reason why you're being tested. So if you see me looking around, I'm looking at my camera for my podcast and looking at you guys who are here. So it's October 5th right now. Most people have been tested a lot this year. Tested with your spiritual walk, tested with your physical body, tested with finances. You've been tested of some sort if you've been living. But then there are a few of us who have felt that the heat has been like turned up recently. Like everything you've been trying to do is not working. Everything that you are putting your hands to do, it just seems like it's not adding up. So I'm going to give you some tips and things that could help you today and then let you be on your way. So if you feel like you're being tested, I want to tell you that it's probably for the reason that God is trying to increase your faith or get you to use your faith. Now, that's not easy. And if you guys see someone pop in, it's my little daughter. She's okay. She's part of the whole thing. When God's trying to increase our faith, the number one thing that happens is we immediately get uncomfortable. We know that, right? But no one likes being uncomfortable, especially me. No one likes to feel that you don't have the answers. No one wants to feel that everybody around you can kind of see what's going on when they're probably not paying attention. But mostly you're at a place where like you don't feel like you have a floor or a ceiling. So you get uncomfortable, and I want to give you 3 tips that helped me just recently and something that I've been studying on. When God is requiring you to increase your faith, 3 things usually happen. Number one, imposter syndrome shows up. This is where you start to feel, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. What if people find out that I'm not good enough? What if people find out that I don't have what it takes? This happens, and it has happened for years, right? A story about Moses. And if you have ever read in the book of Exodus, Moses gets this big assignment to go and like deliver the children of Israel. And he gets it from God himself. And then first thing he says is, I can't speak well. I don't have like the knowledge. I don't know what I'm doing. If imposter syndrome shows up on your journey, it's an indicator that you are to use your faith and not your logic. The reason why I say that is because if you use logic, you're going to be fighting logic against logic. He couldn't have delivered those people by himself. He needed the help of God. He couldn't just get these people from living in Egypt to going to this promised land by himself. He needed the help of God. So when imposter syndrome shows up, it's an indicator to use your faith and not logic. When we see imposter syndrome, the first thing we do usually is we give into it. We start to agree with it. And I've done this tons of times. You start to agree with, hey, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe everyone knows more than me. Maybe everyone is better than me. And they might be better than you. They might know more than you. But if God is inquiring you and requiring you to use your faith, he's saying you have what it takes because I'm in you. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff that can be unpacked there. But we don't have time today, and Eli's already jumping. So the first one is imposter syndrome. Look in Exodus. Look at the story of Moses. How many times that he kept backing away and playing small when God was trying to get him to lead the people. It got so bad that God just told him, hey, like basically you're going to do this. Like you're going to do this. I'm not giving you a lot of choice. Why does imposter syndrome cripple us so well? Because often we're not used to depending on God as much as we say we are. We're usually dependent on what degrees we have, what coaching certs we have, what schooling we've taken, our past accomplishments. And at times, God will allow that stuff to be minuscule. He'll allow that stuff to be really, really small so that you have to become dependent back on him. The day and the season where you're not depending on God is one of your most dangerous seasons. The reason for that is because you're going to start thinking that you can do it by yourself. And that's not what he wants. And that's kind of why sometimes the test feels so heavy and it feels like so strong and it feels like it's never going to end. Usually he's trying to get you to be in a place where, like, hey, I need you to be dependent on me. So, second thing that comes up when God wants you to increase your faith is we start focusing on lack. We start focusing on what we don't have, what we don't know. And I know we're in an era where everyone is talking about having an abundant mindset and manifesting things and such. But I want to encourage you guys to realize that having an abundant mindset takes time, because usually you're unlearning a lot of things that you learned to get to where you're at in life. You're learning, like, hey, scarcity is not my it's not my lot. I'm learning that I don't have to have this mindset that every time things go right, something has to happen bad. Having an abundant mindset will take time. Reminded of the story and a guy named Gideon, Judges. God gives him an assignment to do, and Gideon does this. He starts to tell God, hey, like, I can't do this. Like, we're the weakest clan, the weakest team out here. Why would you want me to do something like that? He starts to focus on what he doesn't have. I was listening to one of my favorite teachers, and he said one of the biggest temptations is for the enemy to get us to focus on what we don't have versus what we do have. And that blew my mind. So, story of Gideon, right? Gideon is given this assignment to go and defeat some people, and he literally starts to only focus on what he has, what he doesn't have. And it gets to the point where God is like, hey, even what you think you have, I'm gonna decrease it so that you depend on me and know that if I'm asking you to do something or I'm telling you to do something, you already have what you need. The people assigned to help you are already there. You just have to move forward. With that, focusing on lack looks like this. Every time a new opportunity comes, you downplay yourself. I'm guilty of this at times. Every time someone wants to open a door for you, you tell them why they shouldn't open the door. You tell them every reason why it's not going to work. That's focusing on lack. Lack also looks like this. I can't give out information because someone's going to succeed more than I am. That's focusing on lack versus focusing on abundance. And the last one is when God wants you to increase your faith, he gives you an option. He gives you an option to just obey, or you have the option to not do it. I'm reminded of a story in Genesis with Abraham. God tells this man, hey, I'm going to give you a family. I'm going to give you a son. And he does give him a son, and he gives him a son while he's 100 years old. So he's waiting all of his life to have the son. He gets the son, and then now he's 100. The thing that gets me in the story is he tells him after, hey, I want you to go and sacrifice your son. I want you to give up what I gave you. I want you to go and sacrifice your son. And if we went deeper, it would take too long. So I'm going to cut the story short. Abraham brings his son up to the mountain, and his son is like, hey, we're going to the mountain to do the sacrifice, but where is the sacrifice? Like, where is the ram? I don't see any ram. And Abraham says, God will provide. He doesn't tell Isaac that he's about to be the ram. He gets Isaac on the altar. And for me, this story gets me in so many ways, because I'm thinking, why wasn't Isaac fighting to get off of the altar? Whole different story. A lot of parallels in that. We're not going to go deep into that at all. He tells him, he gets him on the altar, and he's getting ready to actually sacrifice his son. And the angel comes and tells him, because I knew that you will give him up, we're good. You don't need to do this. You'll always have a choice to obey what you feel God is showing you to do or telling you to do, or disobey. And I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes disobedience feels better. Disobedience feels better because it doesn't require you to change. It doesn't require you to use faith. It doesn't require you to exercise any other muscle. It just literally requires you to stay doing the same thing the same way. And when I'm saying all of this, I've been there before, and there's certain times in my life I still go back there And I'm just encouraging you as I'm encouraging myself. If it's felt super tight and super rough lately, I want you to think about those things I said, and I want to leave you with a bonus. I want you to not neglect the help from other people. Usually, when we are in a tight situation and someone wants to help us, we usually like to throw around like cliches like, I got it, I'm good, I'm okay. No, sometimes people are assigned to come help you. That can be financially, that can be with wisdom, that can be with uh, new information, that can be with opening a door, a connection. Don't shy away from letting people help you out because you have no idea that you have no idea how they could help you in this season and how they might be assigned to help you, which means it won't be a burden for them. That's all over the Bible. So today, that's my live. We got 25 more to go. We're doing a live every day for the next 30 days in a group I'm in. So I'll see you guys when I see you. I'm out of here. Be great.